Well, hello, friends. Father Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life. Welcome to our program. And it is a great joy to have you with us, Christians and patriots from clear across our country and our friends from around the world. And you know full well, my friends, that we have been talking in great depth on this program about the Dobbs case that arose out of Mississippi, went to the U.S. Supreme Court, and the oral arguments that were held there on December 1st. We have analyzed various briefs. We have talked about the arguments. We have discussed the possible outcomes. Well, today we want to return to the topic of that case because we have with us a special guest who has a lot to do with what is going on here. She is a Mississippi state representative, and she is actually the author of the bill, the Gestational Age Act, which the Supreme Court is reviewing in this case. We are very privileged to have Representative Becky Curry with us. And Representative Curry, thanks so much for taking the time to be on our program.
It's my honor to be here.
Well, you know, you and I have not known each other for a long time. It was actually this case that brought us into contact with each other. And we did meet for the first time on the very day of the oral arguments at the Supreme Court. And that night, a beautiful gala event put on by our friends at Alliance Defending Freedom. So it sure was good to see you there. And I look forward to, as the court continues its deliberations, being in contact with you a lot more. But just to have a little background, you're a registered nurse, and you have been such for some 42 years. You are now serving in your fourth term in the Mississippi legislature. You got elected there in 2008. And you, of course, authored this bill. I'd like you to start by telling our audience, how was it that this bill, which protects babies in the womb from 15 weeks forward, how did it come to be?
Well, in 2016, we worked on a bill and passed a bill for 20 weeks. And, we were very excited about that bill. It was good to work on. And a couple of years later, Representative Andy Gibson and I started talking, and we said, we're just not really comfortable with that. And as you know, we are pro-life, but you have to chip away at Roe versus Wade. It's not something you can take out in one fatal swoop. And so we began to talk, and I had told him I've been a nurse for a long time. I worked in labor and delivery in the emergency room for my beginning 25 years. And I had an experience there that really moved me. And it was a baby. Now, this is in the 80s, so our technology was not good as it is now. And a baby was delivered, and it was about 15 weeks. And of course, we put it on our surgical towels, and that baby fought to live. That baby fought to live. The heartbeat for around 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, I looked at it very good because, it was a baby, and I prayed, and, the mother was very upset, and, she didn't stay in the room as long as I did with the baby, but, we just continued to pray. And, it was just amazing to me. The organs, you could see the baby's chest beating, fingernails, all kinds of things. And that stuck with me throughout many, many years. So before we started working on this bill, I started looking at 15 weeks, and that's where the 15 weeks came in. And, now we know that they have all their major organs. They can taste the food that the mother's eaten. They feel pain. And, most of them suck their thumb at this stage. And, so 15 weeks just obviously stuck with me for a long period of time. And when I researched it and the felt pain, I realized that the abortion procedure is very brutal procedure done to a baby. I mean, they literally go in and chop this baby up and remove it from the uterus. And, we wouldn't do that. And I think most people wouldn't do that if they knew that they were inflicting pain on another person. And so we decided to go with 15 weeks. And from that day forth, we just felt anointed with this bill. And I told our Speaker of the House, I think this bill is going all the way. Um, little did I know this woman from Brookhaven, Mississippi, that this was really going to happen when they gave me a call to say, the Supreme Court has taken up your bill. How do you feel? I wasn't sure. I couldn't comprehend it. But I always knew that bill from the day we started working on it in 2018 was special.
It is special. And throughout my about 30 years now of being in the national pro-life leadership, I have often said, the states have to push back against Roe v. Wade in the sense that not only, as you well know, not only did it take away the recognition of the baby's right to life, it took away the recognition of the state's right to protect its own children. And, I've always said, look, if a state's elected representatives like yourself and their governor want to pass measures to protect these children, they should do so. They should be allowed to do so. And the only way to push back against Roe v. Wade is for them actually to do so and then battle it out in court. And I want to trace with you and get your reflections on how this has developed, because, of course, you authored the bill. It was debated, voted upon. It was Governor Phil Bryant at that time, of course, who signed it into law, and we express our thanks to him. But then I guess it was expected, right, that the pro-abortion people would bring this to court. There's only one abortion mill left in Mississippi, Jackson Women's Health Organization. They brought it to court. And what's fascinating to me, and I think our viewers need to understand this, and I'd like your thoughts about it. The district court, when they first heard this challenge, paid no heed at all to the reasons why you and your colleagues representing the people of Mississippi passed this bill. There were interests that the courts have said the states have, and that you were pursuing. I want to explore what those interests were. But the court said, look, the state has an interest in the life of the baby. The state has an interest in the health of the mother. And the state has an interest, too, in the integrity of the medical profession. And, of course, you and your colleagues, gathered together all this information and the motives for passing this law. And tell us how, the court sort of like just said, oh, we don't want to hear any of that. This is before viability. This is only 15 weeks. And therefore, it's unconstitutional. That must have really, to me, and to a lot of people, that's just so offensive that they wouldn't even consider why you were doing it.
Well, even from the beginning, when Roe v. Wade and Casey were enacted, you had a handful of people that made these decisions for the entire country, which should have never happened. So it is very frustrating when you have a body of legislators by the Constitution who are supposed to make the laws, to have one liberal judge, no matter what you do. And we've passed several bills. We've passed that the doctor at the abortion clinic has to be OBGYN certified and has admitting privileges in case something goes wrong with the health of the mother, and just several different things. But no matter what we sent to this one judge, and we all know anything we do, we're going to be sued. And I had several constituents of mine ask me, aren't you tired of taking Mississippi into lawsuits and spending all that money? And I said, no, I'm not. I'm never going to be tired of it, because, this should have never been the law of the land. They claim it to be the law of the land, yet nowhere in the Constitution can you find it. But, So yes, it is very frustrating. And, state legislators throughout the country have got to take their power back. We are the voice of the people. And if the people don't want us here, trust me, every 4 years, they will vote you out. And, so I believe that that's how it should be. And if I'm not doing a good job and if I'm not doing what my constituents want me to do, they need to send me home. And, so yes, sir, it is very frustrating. And we have got to get things like this, Roe v. Wade, so political. In my lifetime, and I'm sure in yours, I've seen more laws and legislation that passed and went through the court that took care of animals better than this. And so it's just very frustrating that we have one liberal judge here that continuously does this. And we always knew that we would have to send it on to the Supreme Court. And, it was a pleasure to find out that they were going to listen to the case. Generally, they never did. They just let the lower courts rule. And so we would never get anything passed. So it's been an amazing journey. And like I said, when we were working on this bill, we just knew this was anointed and it was going to, and it's not going to be you or me or anybody else. God has opened the path and he planted the seeds, for three new justices that wanted to hear the case and hopefully understand the Constitution enough to realize that we the people do have a voice.
You as a legislator can appreciate more than anyone the briefs that were submitted in this case by legislators. I found those to be some of the most compelling briefs because you had hundreds of state legislators like yourself speaking to the court and saying what you just said, let us do our job. And then there were the members of Congress, hundreds of them. In fact, as I understand it, the largest number of sitting members of Congress ever to ask the court to reverse Roe v. Wade. So it is such a powerful moment. And if people understand, people on both sides of the debate, I say to them, listen, you should want this to go back to the hands of the people and their elected representatives. Because if you think abortion is such a great thing, make your case. Make your case to the people, make it to your elected representatives, and you still have the opportunity to pass policies and laws that implement your view. But Becky, what did you think? You and I were together in Washington on the day of the oral arguments. What did you think when you heard the oral arguments? How did you feel it went?
Well, of course, some of your liberal judges, we all expected, it was pretty natural for me to hear them, but it was very refreshing to hear Amy Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh. And, it gave me hope. And that's my new word. It gave me hope because, like I said, we've passed so many bills and we always pray about it and we always have hope. But, really, it's here. We finally made it. So we just have to hope. And I have several hopes for this bill. If they don't take it at face value, at least give us our state rights back. We're never going to be a New York or a California here in Mississippi. We're never going to be that. This was a bipartisan bill, by the way. We had many Democrats and all Republicans that voted for it, and the people spoke. We are a pro-life state, and so here in Mississippi, we need to be able to elect our legislators, let them pass laws, and that be the law of the land. We shouldn't have 9 people sitting, wherever they sit. Nobody knows where they are except on occasion, but making these decisions for the people. It should have never been done this way. And I hope and I pray. And those, like I said, that's my new word is hope, that that we wake up and realize that state legislators are here for a reason. And we're here because we're closest to the people's voice. I
Yeah.
hear and I talk to my constituents. I go to the grocery store and talk to them. So we are here amongst the people. And, like I said, when they get tired of me being here, they'll send me home.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And this is what, I've often been saying as this case has been making its way through the courts that, you can sit down with your state legislator, you can vote him or her out of office or into office. You can't do that with a Supreme Court justice. And
No,
this is where, bringing the abortion policy back to the state level would be just the smart thing to do and the right thing to do. So now we wait for the court, and I know that I imagine, as we're doing here this afternoon, that you've been asked to speak a lot. I saw one of your op-eds on this case, and has it become a busy time for you, in addition to your other legislative duties, to be asked to address this particular matter now that it's on the Supreme Court?
I have been asked. I've been pretty picky about who I sit down with, and because I don't want to get into an argument with people who just want to bash what we've done and have no open mind to see that this still is a bill. If you read it, if you read the bill, this pregnancy, 15 weeks is 3.5 months of pregnancy. So it's not a ban on abortion. It is, let's be real. Let's be real that we need to protect life at a certain point, and that yes, we are pro-life, but this is a very common sense bill. What I hate more than anything, and I is late term abortion, and I think that there has to be a cutoff time. And like I said, either they need to take it at face value or they need to send it back to the states, where you're going to have some states that are going to be pro-life, period. Uh, but when I think about this, Father, I think, you know, how many millions of lives we will save, even if they just take it at face value. And, so my hopes are big, uh, but I know that they're right. And I know that God is in charge of this. And, I sometimes wonder when I do my day to day, we're fighting over congressional lines this week. We're fighting over this and that. And sometimes I wonder because I'm still a practicing nurse. So I go home and go back to work. And, I still, I have two jobs. This is a part time job, they say. I hadn't found the part time in it yet. But, so I have to feel like common sense will eventually prevail.
Exactly, exactly. And that's our hope too. Well, Representative Becky Curry, as you know, we have invited you and you have accepted to receive an award. Now, we're doing this for you and some of your colleagues on the Senate side, Senator Joey Fillingane and Angela Hall, who have worked hard on this bill as well. We give, and I want our audience to know, we give each year a National Pro-Life Recognition Award on behalf of several national groups. And this year, what we wanted to do on the day of the March for Life in Washington was to thank you and your colleagues, and through you, those great people that you mentioned, that you represent, the pro-life people of Mississippi. We want to thank them. We want to honor them. We want to recognize them and all the elected and appointed officials there who have had a hand in making this law a reality. And so I want to congratulate and thank you for accepting that honor. It will be a privilege to actually give you the award. And as you well know, I mean, this is not a matter of looking for, looking for thanks or earthly honors. We do it for the very reasons you said. We want to protect life. We want to honor God. We want to do what the Constitution would provide for. But we do want to honor you and thank you and encourage people like yourself and all the people that you represent who have made this possible as well. So it is our pleasure to give you the 2022 Pro-Life Recognition Award. And we hope that will be an encouragement to all the folks there at home to keep on being that voice for these babies, no matter what the court ultimately says. You know, we're not going to stop advocating for them.
That's right. And I appreciate it so much. And like you said, this is not an honor it's an honor for me, but worldly recognitions, they don't matter. And like I said, I finally know why I'm a legislator. God put me here. And if this is the one bill that is my accomplishment, saving millions of babies' lives, what a pleasure that will be. And I'm very proud of it. And thank you for inviting me to come and get this award. But like we both know, there's so many people that have helped. If I didn't have a governor and a Speaker of the House that I knew was behind me, and that governor wasn't going to sign that bill, and he was excited to do so, it'd be very difficult. So there's a lot of people that have played a hand in this.
That's right. That's exactly right. We wish we could have all of them together to receive our gratitude, but we certainly convey it to them all. So thanks so much, Representative Becky Curry. We will be in touch, and may the blessings of the Lord be with you, your family, your colleagues, and all the work that you do.
And also with you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon.
See you soon. And thank you all, brothers and sisters, for watching today. And please continue to follow the progress of this case and learn more about the arguments. You can go to SupremeCourtVictory.com. That's our special website where you'll see the briefs, you'll see the arguments, you'll see the prayer campaign, and you'll see many other interviews as well that we have done with various friends of the court. Thank you all. God bless you and your families. This is Father Frank Pavone of Priests for Life. We will talk to you soon.